to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com. And streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Dance Moms After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Dance Moms After Show.
That was beautiful, Giselle.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing right now. We're doing another recap of your favorite crazy mama dance mamas on
Mama
TV.
drama.
Mama drama, not baby mama drama, but dance moms on Lifetime. I'm Giselle Ugarte, and over here, I don't know if you recognize this ghost over here.
What's going on? I am a little paler than I usually am, but I'm Cris Cangero.
I know, I'm pretty pale too, so I wasn't, you know. But, you can always live tweet us. I'm at Giselle Ugarte. Chris is at Cris Cangero. That's Chris with a C, no H.
No H, R-I-S. But no, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Yes, you got it.
I know, I'm so happy that you're here.
I know.
For a second, I thought I was going to be by myself tonight.
I can't believe you're going to do it by yourself.
Hey, I'm in the booth, Giselle, so it would have been
And
okay.
over here in the booth, where can we find you? You're in the chat room too, right?
Yeah, you can find me in the chat room. You can find me at AFTERBUZZ all the time.
Hey. Well, thank you for being here. Thanks for keeping the lights on, keeping us in check, answering and manning the phones over there. So to begin with, Dance Moms, as we always do, start with the pyramid. And we also return.
Wait, first of all, I have to just say Asia.
I know, I was about to. You read my mind.
Is here. Like, I watched it tonight. I actually haven't been watching the past couple weeks, but I'm so excited.
Asia is in the house. Christy is in the house.
My two favorites. And I'm so happy they're here.
And she's got the big earrings.
She does, and that slick back hair.
And the biceps and the slick back hair.
Yeah, she's got it going on.
She keeps it tight over at the Ivy League Dance Company.
I don't know if I could say I was shocked the first week I'm watching with Asia here. She came back last week, is that correct? Or she came last week?
She joined us.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And she's #1 in the pyramid.
She did.
Bravo, Asia. You know I love you. I'm a big Asia fan.
I really do love Asia. I'm very impressed by her. There are times when I want to be like, ugh, she's not that good. And then I'm like, wait, she's 7 years old.
Yeah, she's firecracker. She's a firecracker. Definitely some bent knees and
some bad feet, but
that doesn't really matter.
She's still doing back handsprings and putting her feet over her head.
Turns.
Yes.
Yeah, she's doing awesome.
Yes, and she's got the little 6 packs and the biceps.
And that attitude with those walks and the whole deal.
I love it.
She's got it going.
I love it. Let's go through the pyramid. We start off with Mackenzie, who is injured. And supposedly she is pulled by Melissa because she's injured and she's crying during the pyramid. Why isn't she
resting? Why is she even standing there during the pyramid? Go home, ice, rest, compression, elevate. Yeah, we got the whole rice situation. Like, she's standing there and they're making her stand on her ankle. Was her ankle or her foot? Whatever it is, girl needs to be resting. She doesn't need to be there crying at the pyramid.
I don't understand why she's there either, and I don't understand why she's crying or intimidated and why they're still trying to do this plot line of her feeling threatened by Asia, when I don't really feel like they're even comparable.
No, I don't think so
Not that one's better than the other, but I just think that they're so different.
I think Asia's better.
And Mackenzie has history.
And Mackenzie doesn't really, maybe technically, they could be equivalent.
She's definitely better technically.
But like that firecracker.
Asia's got the what's it called? The
X Factor, that
the je ne sais quoi.
Sure. You can say that, a little something extra.
The little I don't know what.
Exactly. But she doesn't, I don't know, the whole storyline of being threatened, it's just,
I don't like it.
I don't like
when they try to put the girls against each other, which we see more of a little later.
We see a lot of that
a lot of it a little later with the politics of Ivy League Dance Company and this patriotic theme. Next up, we have Brooke, who supposedly is at the bottom because she's 15 and she's not making any decisions professionally about her dance career.
That's true.
Then we have Chloe, who came in second with the trio. She fell out of the turns.
I think they showed the wrong clip. Because I didn't see the trio. They're like, you fell out of the turns early, but they were just doing a coupe to a slide, and she was on point. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
like this network needs to get the clips together.
The producers are like, oh yeah, turn, and then it's like, jeté.
Yeah, like get someone in there that knows what they're doing or knows the technique, because that happened a ton during Abby's Ultimate Dance Challenge.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, look here, and they're like doing like a handstand, and they're like, oh, on this turn, and you're like, no, that's not right.
No, not
Not
really, not really. Do you think Chloe's ever gonna make it to the top, or is
think she
Abby just so
will.
anti-Christy that it doesn't even matter?
I think she will. I think she will. I think there was technical issues that I was noticing tonight that Abby's standing back and watching, like, you know, droopy elbows, their cores aren't engaged. I mean, I've actually been judging some dance competitions recently,
go.
so like, I'm noticing
so
things.
You're on your
Well, I'm just noticing things that
judgmental
need to
game.
be, not about judgmental. I'm trying to help them.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
and if Abby wants me to come
constructive.
in and teach, like, I will come in and teach.
Abby Lee
You know, I will be on
at
a few.
CRISCANGERO.
Write that down. Because seriously, I will come out there. I will teach. I will choreo. They need some fresh choreography. It's just, I don't know. I need
Well-
more. I need more. Just like when I'm judging, I'm like, kids, you need to give me more. Like,
Are you trying to hint us that you're going to be on the next season of Abby's Ultimate Dance
no,
Competition?
I would just tell you if it was gonna happen.
Or are you trying to hint us that you're going to be on the next AT&T Give Me More commercial?
What's the AT&T Give Me More?
You haven't
commercial?
seen that?
No. It's a Britney.
In the
Give Me
booth over
More?
here, do you know what I'm talking about? How they have the guy in the classroom with the little kids, and he's like, is more better? And then they're like, yeah, because then they give all
Oh,
these
with the kids where you're sitting at the
because I
table.
want more, and more. And he's like, I'm following you.
Do that again real
Real.
quick, Giselle.
No, thanks, but you can find a YouTube clip if you really
Oh,
want
see,
to.
I thought it was a Britney situation when he said, give me more.
more.
I
Give
mean,
me
that's
more.
just how my mind works. But
I was with you. I got you. I see you.
yes.
Next up, we had Kendall, who was also in the trio, and Abby's kind of holding that against Chloe, Kendall, and then later Maddie, who was next on the pyramid, that they were a losing trio, even though the trio was pretty fabulous, in my opinion. And then somehow Paige is on the next, is you know, to the next of Maddie, or to the next of Maddie, is next to Maddie on the pyramid.
Right.
And so Kelly's like, thanks to me, I'm actually behaving and listening to Abby.
And I'm like, you should
And
always
not-
be behaving, right? Just behave yourself, because it's gonna happen. Like the teachers, I
Lock
feel
it
like,
up, Kelly.
are
Lock it
always
up.
gonna take it out on the kids, which isn't right. You know that Abby does that either, but it's gonna happen.
Pretty much.
So behave yourselves, moms. Come on.
Yeah, like Mia, who's next. And she's, quote, Switzerland,
I don't know.
under the radar.
Yeah, I don't know.
Come
about
on.
That. That.
Do we agree
comment.
with this, people? Nia, number 2 on the pyramid, next to Asia.
I don't know where that came from. I was actually quite surprised, but I knew Asia was gonna be. I was like, I knew Asia was gonna be up there.
But do you think she deserved it? Because I guess you didn't watch it
see
last week.
week's, but I mean, judging from her body of work, yeah, and she's fresh and interesting, and it's not the same. Like none of those girls have that sassiness
Right.
and that style like she has. So she's bringing in a whole new, fresh attitude and like something that all those girls can learn from, and she likewise can learn the technique. You
Yeah.
know?
What she needs, I think with Asia, it's the kind of thing where, okay, if you were to compare her side by side, maybe she is a little behind. But
Not at 7 years old.
at 7 years old, exactly, she is, you know, decades beyond her years, whereas the girls are maybe a couple years beyond their years, and
Right.
it's only in like certain areas, whereas Asia has so much potential. And she has a background that's more gymnastics, cheerleading, not even dance, and I think that's where she lacks in terms of technique.
But it gives her that strength and that
little
power
edge.
and that
The conviction.
the raw factor, as I like to say.
The raw. Well, Abby says that Asia's top placement was a reflection of her score, not her legs and feet, which I'm glad that she acknowledged that. And she's not just putting Asia on this pedestal. She's showing her that there is work to be done. They're going to Powerhouse Dance Competition. And Asia gets a solo again. It's called Ready for War. She plays Rosie the River.
Wait, did
and she
you
has these
like how
pipes.
each of their solos names
Yeah.
were their respectively solo names? Like, Chloe, am I here to stay?
Yeah. Maddie, I'm trying. Group,
You gotta like,
free the people.
you gotta laugh.
Come
at
on.
that.
Who do you think makes those up?
I'm sure they're producers
Really?
because they have these songs, these obscure songs you've never heard of. It's not like they're doing pop songs or songs you're familiar with. So I think the song could be anything. It could be singing about like you know, who knows? And they're like, oh, it's ready for war.
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
All right.
Like, sure, let's
The
just make
symphonic
that.
melody.
Because then Abby makes it a point each week to be like, this is called I'm Trying. And or what she said to Chloe, are you here to stay? Are you? They're
Is
like,
she?
Poor Chloe.
Is she?
Maybe. If Abby maybe corrects her a little bit instead of like, I don't know. I just
Corrects
felt
her
like
or corrects her mom?
her. Those elbows can't be drooping.
That's true.
That core needs to be
But she
engaged.
still looks. She's still better than
She
some
was
of the other
great,
girls.
but her eye, like Chloe, you have to get your eyes off the floor too. Don't look down at the floor. You can't shoot your energy down.
She got a little nervous.
Gotta project out.
got
No, in
nervous.
rehearsals though too.
It's her
That's where
first
I
time,
noticed it.
doing the solo act in a while.
Yeah, but she should know this. It's the same thing performing. You
Well-
know, you're always performing.
I guess so. Well, if you're in the chat room, if you're watching at home, if you're watching on YouTube tomorrow, if you're watching live, if you're listening to the podcast, let us know what you think. Is Chloe here to stay? Was the pyramid fair? Is Asia going to be around for much longer?
Is she a permanent company member now?
Allegedly.
Okay.
And according to Instagram and Facebook, she does have a lot of pictures with these girls.
Okay. You
And
better be on their Instagram.
yeah. Well, and also, I'm going to just throw this in here. I was going to wait till news and gossip, but I might as well at least tease it now. We can mention a little bit more later. But I actually got a message this week and a friend
Oh.
request from Christy Ray.
Okay.
Yes, from Asia's mom.
I love Chrissy.
She actually wrote me, and this is the thing though. If you guys have been a fan of Dance Moms and Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition here at AfterBuzz TV, you know that we've gotten very close to some of the moms and the dancers that have been on the show. And I particularly have been close to Yvette. You know, we still keep in touch.
Oh God.
And so I thought it was a little strange that all of a sudden I'm getting this message on Facebook from Christy Ray. The thing is that Christy Ray was kind of a little bit of a villain on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition. She wasn't necessarily close
So
to
is
everybody.
Yvette.
Yeah, Yvette was as well.
They were both
So in
villains.
that way, in terms of the moms who I'm close to, they wouldn't be friends with her on Facebook anyway. So I'm almost a little nervous that maybe it wasn't her.
Yeah,
Because
do
she
you know it's her
she doesn't have a
actual-
Twitter, and now she all of a sudden does. So I'm a little skeptical, but I'm hoping that it really is her.
Did you accept her friend request?
Yes, and I read the message and I wrote her back. The message was very well written. It was very articulate. It was very mature. She sounded like she was very understanding of our opinions here at AfterBuzz TV and the way that she was perceived, the way the age has been perceived. She also, of course, stood up for her daughter in that she's only 7 years old,
Right.
but she's far
How
beyond
long
her years.
was this message?
It was long. It was like
Was
a good.
was I mentioned?
Not specifically.
Oh, I mean, shoot, I'm over here fighting for you and your daughter every week.
But it's cool because she
Chrissy,
said that
friend
she does
request me.
watch. And they are from Southern California area. So
Oh,
my
cool.
hope is that it really is her and that she will come into the studio or maybe at least call in.
That'd
But
be
it was
great.
it was great that she is watching, she is listening like you guys at home, and she's reading the comments that you guys write. Whether or not she writes back, it doesn't even matter. You know, it's the same with us too. We read them all.
Yeah.
We love all the good ones, the bad ones, whatever it is going to take to make this show better, to give you as much information as we can. And so it was great for her to praise AfterBuzz TV on, you know, the job that we've been doing, talking about these girls. But I'm still trying to verify. You know, I can't help but to be a little skeptical.
Of
You know, just
course. I
because
mean, you never know.
we have the perception of her being this, you know, villainess of some sorts. And so for
You
her,
guys had that
okay, fine,
perception.
us. I get it. She's the mama bear, so I understand.
I mean, Christy, like, my mom would be the same way if someone came for me like that. You know, I would be the same way. That's your child.
oh yeah, duh, of course.
Yeah.
But so
If anything,
We'll see.
personally, you know, I thought Yvette was more of the villain.
you did think that, and Yvette might be coming back. Didn't hear that from
Coming
Yvette.
back where?
But for some reason, I just have a feeling. Like I feel like her and I have
To
this
Dance
connection.
Moms.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think she's gonna be back. I just have this feeling. She won't tell me anything, probably because she has what's it called, NDA.
NDA, yeah.
But I just have this feeling
Well, get her in the studio.
that Yvette and Christy are going to.
Meet again. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
So if you're watching at home, let us know who you think would win that battle.
Christy.
And if you know any of the gossip about, thanks. If you know any of the gossip about the situation,
you
because I
know.
know some of you guys do. I got the tweets, I got the comments where you're like, oh, Giselle, guess what? Da 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 da. Or actually, you were wrong. That was not the right information. Let me know,
Huh.
please, please.
Let us know.
Speaking of a little knowledge and education, we have a little homeschooling section here. Do you think Melissa would really pull the girls out of school to do homeschooling for dance? Or among
mean,
other
my
things, to do singing and
question-
piano playing and lessons?
like dance, as far as I know, at Abby Lee's studio doesn't start till after school hours. So I
Right.
don't know where she's training unless she's gonna move and like start going to like an Edge or Millennium type situation.
Maybe she'll start going on tour.
Maybe she
like
will.
Asia and Sophia Lucia.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what they could do, but I don't think it's that big a deal. And I think all the other moms are just such haters. Like, if this is what she wants to do, like, those are her kids. Let her do it. If you have such a problem with it, you're in the same situation. Take your kid out of school.
Yeah.
I mean, I think homeschooling is not the best because it's not about learning. It's about
Social
interacting.
situations.
Yeah, like, and you don't want to be, like, a socially awkward person.
Beyond education.
It's totally beyond that. And I think, I mean, personally, I wouldn't do it. But, I mean, look at, what's her name, Jordan. Didn't her mom move her out here to LA when she was like 13? Mm-hmm. And now she's working all the time.
Well, and that would be the argument is that, okay, maybe she's not in a classroom social situation, but she's in a professional situation.
Right, now
and she's growing up a little faster. So is that taking away her childhood? Is that making her more mature?
I mean, I think it's an individual.
These girls too young to make that kind of a decision? Is it Melissa making the decision? Is she making the decision for her kids? Because they're pretty young.
They're way too young.
Like 6, 7.
And I'm saying it, like, I guess my opinion, because I guess that's what we do, is give our opinion, is that if she's going to do it, let her do it and then move somewhere where she can continue her training beyond Abby Lee.
Yeah.
Go to New York, come to LA,
yeah.
do something like that, and then have a path like Jordan, who's working professionally all the time. And then that's fine, but if you're just going to have the kids chill at home on the couch and, like, eat cereal at noon, and then go into dance just so they could sleep an extra hour.
Or stretch a little bit more.
Yeah, like, that's silly. It's a little silly. But I don't agree with how the parents were so harsh. Like, worry about your own kids.
Yeah.
You want to do it? Then take your kids out of school. You don't want to do it? Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's so bad for you to try to get your kid ahead. That's how they put it down. They're like, Melissa's always trying to get Maddie ahead. Well, yeah.
Because these moms, I feel like,
don't you want to get your kid ahead?
They think it's like themselves getting ahead. You know?
Still.
It's weird. It's
like,
a little
wouldn't
strange.
you want to get ahead?
Oh, of course. Everyone wants to get ahead.
Like, I want to get ahead.
Everyone would want to get ahead. Everyone should want to get ahead. If you don't want to get ahead, then you're...
Then what are you doing?
Pointless.
Like, then you're just another person.
Just a civilian.
You want to be a star.
Exactly. Just civilians. Yes, choreography. You learned something this week.
This is out of the shot. This is out of the shot. I had to put it in the shot. It was too high. Now I'm down here. Okay. Well, let's talk about some of the group number, the practice. There's a lot of pressure. You know, free the people, politics.
First of all, again, the flag, American flag thing, like, I've seen that since I was like 8 competing.
Do you think the chasing Asia was a metaphor?
Ooh, look at that. Maybe. I mean, I think they all should be intimidated by Asia. She's bringing a whole new, fresh style and energy that, I mean, clearly Abby loves her. And, yeah, maybe it could have been. I like that.
Chasing the coattails?
It's true.
The flag tails?
The flag tails.
Or the,
I don't know, the running with the flag. Like, Abby, I love you, Abby, but we gotta, like, make it a little more exciting. Like, something new, like the American flag theme.
But the moms made the costumes themselves.
The costumes were great. I actually thought the costumes were great.
And no flags were harmed.
No flags were hard.
In the creation of those costumes.
They worry about the strangest things. I mean, you should be worried about the flag and respecting it, but you can probably go
Can't touch the ground.
You can probably go get material at, like, what's it called? Like Mood or one of those fabric stores.
Well, they did. That's what they did.
They used handkerchiefs.
A little bit of everything.
A ton of handkerchiefs. But no, they were good.
I mean, really, do you need much more than a handkerchief to, like, cover their little, thing that's, like, this big?
I don't know what's used in these creations. I'll think about that. But the costumes were great. The number was typical competition number. Nothing exciting. I'd like to see something a little more edgy or just
Well, before we get into the number specifically, let's just talk a little bit about the preparation. For one, Christy speaks up to the moms because she mentions how, Asia is around all of these other dancers internationally, other competitions.
Oh, yeah. Who got Holly, right? Mm-hmm. Got all bent out of shape.
She was like, I never
knew who your daughter was, but, I mean, we know who her daughter is. She was on a whole other show.
Yeah.
Like, why are you getting so upset about it?
Does it even make a difference? Like, I didn't feel like Christy's remarks were particularly that
Exactly. All she was trying to say was that, she's not worried about it because the other moms were actually trying to cut her down.
Yeah.
I mean, like, oh, she just runs across the stage. And Christy's like, yo, these people know my kid can dance. I'm not worried about it. If all she's doing is running and doing a soda shot, like, that's fine. At least she's in the number. You know what I mean?
I mean, she's doing what she's being told to do.
Exactly. And it was just a stupid point, and Holly needs to relax. Like, if she's I mean, they're just all jealous. You know, and for Asia and Cris, like, if you're not being hated on, you're doing something wrong. So you're doing something right. I don't know if
jealous is necessarily the right word, just because
I think so.
They do have a little bit of history, and the girls are a little bit more advanced technically, but
she's younger.
Yeah, but there definitely are. Yeah, I guess there are bits and pieces of jealous and envy.
And she's also the newcomer, like coming into a hostile situation.
Yeah.
But of course, they're not going to be respectful of that.
Of course not, because they need to haze her a little bit. What do you think about putting two team members against each other, Chloe and Maddie? It's not the first time.
I mean,
is this to get them better?
I competed against my friends my whole life.
But to have them vote in a ballot box?
Oh, we didn't get to the voting. The voting I thought was just ridiculous. I thought that was a little ridiculous. And I'm all about friendly competition, and yes, I believe having Asia there is making them step up their game and vice versa. Her being there, her technical game will rise. But the vote, it wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessary. And again, like sometimes how we felt on Abby's Ultimate, like I feel like they're just like, oh, let's do this. Oh, yeah, let's do this for this week.
Let's just pull this.
So it'll start some unnecessary drama, you know? And that wasn't, instead of voting, tell Chloe to lift her arms, support them from her back, Abby. Okay?
She probably does, but
I mean, I don't know. Chloe seems like a great student, and then she would take those corrections.
What about when Abby yells at Kendall?
Oh my God.
Because Jill made a big deal, and I feel like, weren't we not just talking about how Abby was just saying, if I'm not talking to you, if I'm not screaming at you, that's when you should be worried?
I mean, I had a teacher in New York that used to like really tear me apart in class, but I'm so thankful for him. He's like a mentor to me, and sometimes I take class and you don't get any notes or any corrections, and you're like,
why?
I'd rather be. My point, I guess, to Kendall is like, be happy she's correcting you, and be happy that you're being noticed, and even if you're getting yelled at, take the good out of it. And I know it's hard, especially when you're that young.
Yeah.
But like, her mom needs to relax.
I even feel that way like in workout classes. Like,
what, you want to be corrected?
Yeah.
That's okay. What workout classes you be taking?
Like, even I take Pure Barre.
Is it like floor bar?
Maybe it's like 57 and cardio bar. I don't know. I haven't taken that.
I've heard about the place.
But it's like a dancer's workout, but you don't, or like a dancer's body, but you don't necessarily have to have like dance background. Even though I do have a dance background, but it's a lot of very isolated muscle group things at the bar, cool. And you're, anyway. But yeah, so I always like to be corrected, or at least acknowledged. Like, good job, Giselle. Good for you. I'm like, you're like gold star.
Getting teared off your shoulders.
I'm just glistening over here. Anyway, back to the powerhouse competition.
Wait, before we get to that, I think it's funny that I always said that Abby reminded me of my teacher growing up.
Right. Me too.
Like, heavier.
I wouldn't want Abby to sit on me like my teacher did, but.
Did she? Was she that big?
No. I'm saying my teacher was not as big as Abby, but, but he would sit on me.
A spitting image of Abby. She was just blonde. And, that was one of her famous quotes. You don't like it? There's a door. For years we heard that, so I was cracking up.
Did you ever go to the door?
No, I was a good kid until the end. But I was a good kid, and I was so hungry, and I was always working hard, and I did whatever she said. But
I thought you were going to say, like, I was so hungry, I was always eating in class. Something really stupid. Okay, sorry. Anyways, it's getting late over here, but crickets chirping. Okay, so let's see. Abby says that people should be standing when the flag comes out for that number.
Yeah.
Jill, quote unquote, tattles on Asia for crying.
I think Jill is like off her rocker a little bit. I mean, to go and like, yeah, it's just like, it just all seems so.
Or it's just being Jill trying to start stuff.
That's what I'm saying. It just all seems like she's instigating and trying to do, like, okay, Asia was crying, so you're going to call the girl out?
Well, Kendall didn't get anything special this week.
Well, too bad. Work a little harder. That's how it works,
Have a seat.
Have a seat if we have to do a little homage to.
I mean, we have to, yeah. Yeah, Tony and Jason are out today.
I know, we miss you guys.
We miss you guys. But is Kendall the token crybaby, do you think, of everybody?
No.
I don't either.
Like, it's okay. You can
I think
cry.
Everyone kind of cries a little bit.
Yeah.
Abby's been crying more than anybody lately.
Exactly.
Granted, it's acceptable. She has a lot going on in the passing of her little child, Broadway baby, her dog.
Broadway baby.
I did like how they had a little, tear away from the drama, and they had the little Miss USA fashion show.
I know, that was
And
cute.
Asia just like worked it down the runway, down the tile floor,
down the cafeteria of the high school.
Down the cafeteria of the high school with little makeup stand-ups everywhere.
It was cute. And I'm sure there's a lot more moments of that we don't see.
Oh, of course. They look like they have so much fun on Instagram. Follow me at Giselle Ugarte.
Clearly you follow all them.
I don't, but I constantly get little tags from people tagging me in the pictures that are like, Giselle, AFTERBUZZ TV, did you guys see this?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Why aren't the kids tagging me? Why aren't the kids
Maybe
tagging
they're
me?
spelling it wrong. At
There you go.
CrisCangero.
Come on, kids.
Okay, let's talk about these dances. The group number.
The group number.
Came in second, also known as the first loser in Abby's eyes.
Right.
I was actually really impressed at the beginning. I thought they started off strong. Maddie had this
I did like
beautiful
the beginning.
switch into the center at the very beginning where I was like, wow. They had this big renverse that was very in unison. Asia, she did the flag. I thought she did the flag right. Apparently it was upside
Did
down.
you see her
There was
run
this
to the
whole-
front and she was like, audience, just face. And I'm like, that's why you're a star.
Can't you
know?
just see it years from now being like feathers? Like one of those big like Vegas showgirl feathers behind her.
Just like a boas, mad, or backpacks they call
Sequins
them.
or pasty.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind. Sorry.
I don't know about
Oops.
pasties.
Sorry, this is a family show.
I know, where are you going over there? Get your head out of the gutter.
Maddie's turns at the end were incredible. The Alsacones were strong, high.
And she just stretch her bottom
boom.
leg.
A little bit.
They
Sometimes.
all actually do.
The toe. And then Paige supposedly held the flag wrong.
That ending with the flag was so janky. Like, she was like... and then she, like, held it here. Like, why wasn't it... Her arms weren't even... I don't know what was going on. Again, you know how I feel about the
Whose
flag
fault
number.
was it?
I think it was Abby's fault for making them do a number with an American flag. Like, it's 1997. And the Olympics...
Or 2001.
Or every year that they've done it. You know what I mean? I haven't even seen one in years, which is kind of funny. But, like, during the 96 Olympics, like, you know?
I did one. I did a military-themed one after September 11th.
Yeah, there's a lot
Camo.
of those.
Acapella tap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a group
I know
number.
a studio
It's
that
great.
actually just did one.
Really?
Strong number.
Hey.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really good, actually. But it can be done right. It can be done right without being cheesy and, like, hokey. And that was not the case here.
What did you think of Asia's solo?
It
Ready
was
for
great.
War.
It was
Rose
great.
the Riveter.
She was great. It wasn't the best solo I've seen from Asia, but I thought she was really great. Her attitude, her sassiness, some knee, stretch her knee a little.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that spark she has, I just think it's
can't
really like a
duplicate it.
whole level above the other girls.
I feel like the Abby Lee Dance Company doesn't quite know yet how to choreograph for Asia. Because the last two numbers that we've seen, granted we don't
Did she
see
do
all
a
of
solo
them.
last
She
week?
did a solo last
Okay.
week, and she looked adorable. Don't get me wrong, but she wasn't the Asia that we saw in Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition. Like we saw her rock on
Right, well,
Abby's
'cause they
Ultimate.
had guest
they had guest
choreographers.
choreographers. They had sets, and they had these crazy costumes. But the girl wore a trash bag for goodness sake on Abby's Ultimate Dance Competition and rocked it.
I mean, that was my favorite number of hers ever,
Mine as
I
well.
think.
Mine as well. I was captivated. And so I feel like we're not necessarily seeing her at her full potential. We're seeing her doing the energy and like the little pageant walk and stuff. But I feel like we can see her doing a lot better. And it's not necessarily just because she's behind technically. I think it's because they're still not totally sure how to work with someone who can
Who has all that to
who can
offer.
freestyle in a
Yeah,
way, or
and
like
can
who can
groove
do
and actually
she
dance.
can dance outside the lines.
Like a lot of the problem, not that I'm learning, I've known with competition dance, is like it's like trick, kick, turn, and like second turns. Like I could really go the rest of my life without seeing another turn sequence. Like it's just not
Give me something
necessary.
else.
It's just not because dancing, like in LA, you'll
And she
never
can
go
do
to an
that.
audition and do Alice Cone turns ever.
You
But
won't?
there's
5, 6, 7,
movement.
8?
Never. Never. Actually, I had a great audition today. We did like batmas and kicks. It was great to actually do some contemporary and use some technique because most of the time you're not going to, especially for commercial work.
Right.
But the problem with the competition studios is they're not exposed, not all of them, but most of them are not exposed to actual movement, like moving your body and knowing how to isolate and do choreography
Yeah.
that's not tricks and not technique. And I think they need to work on that, but I think Asia's the most capable of that.
Definitely.
Because she's done that before.
Yeah. But she still is having trouble getting choreography.
Right.
That is for sure.
She's
Like
still
in terms,
7.
yeah, but in
Or
terms of
8,
like picking
what
up
is she?
stuff. but you know, that can be learned.
of
Mackenzie's
course.
improved immensely. She ended up getting first in the mini solo division. And then we had Chloe, who, like we've been saying this whole time, she was amazing, but she was lacking. She was looking at the ground.
It was like lackluster performance.
Yeah.
Like,
And so it wasn't, I was almost surprised that she got second, but at the same time, I was so relieved to see her back as a soloist.
yeah, and they should just be happy that it was like first, second, Abby Lee. Not like this was first and you were second. Like when I was competing and like my friends and I would get, you know, like clench the top spots, you were like, you're just happy that your team was all represented in the top 5 or top 10 or top 3, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Maddie looked great. Same old Maddie. I'm trying first. I did like how it was a little bit of a change of pace. She's been doing a lot of dramatic, lyrical solos, and this one was happy.
And there was actually some, you know, a little bit of interesting choreography that I hadn't seen before. And I was like, all right.
I've been impressed with her choreography this season. The last couple of episodes, I have been impressed.
Okay.
It's more her facials where I'm like, okay.
I know the facials. She's young too. But I thought she did a great job. I still think all around, performance-wise, Asia's always going to be dominant.
A little bit, a little bit.
And I really thought if you were going to do the vote, you should have thrown Asia in the vote. I thought that would have made it more interesting.
Oh.
Because despite the fact she's on the same age category, she's still on the same team, and they're all
Yeah.
they're all a team that's like, you know, has opinions of each other.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that. Would you have picked Asia?
Yeah.
You love
I'd have
Asia.
picked Asia
Why did I
and
even
Christy
ask?
all day.
Why did I
every
even
day.
ask?
All day, every day.
Interestingly, Holly says that she was torn between Maddie and Chloe because she thinks Maddie deserves it technically, but Chloe is working with what she had.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of rude, to be honest. That's like, you were on that stage. Like, someone's like, how was I? And you're like, you were dancing. You were dancing on that stage. You were up there, and you were smiling, and your costume was on your body. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not saying they were good.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like, someone's like, how was I? You're like, you were dancing. You were dancing your little heart out.
Kind of like when someone comes up to you and they're like, oh, look at you in your green shirt. And
yeah.
it's like,
and they're not.
It's like, no.
But like, you're like, do you like me in my green shirt, or are you just saying I'm wearing it? You know, making an observation.
Yeah.
Like, you are wearing that.
You're wearing that shirt, Cris Cangero. C-R-I-S.
Yes. Keep plugging.
Just trying to help you out, you know?
Hey.
Well, since we already did our little news and gossip with Christy
Yes.
and
Wait, we
Yvette.
didn't. Abby and her motivational tactics and the flag thing, like being like, if this flag goes wrong, you're gonna ruin the whole number. Like that whole thing.
How she always is. It's with
I
the
know,
drop of the hat or
but I
the
don't
costume
think-
thing, the wardrobe malfunction.
I don't think that's the best way to motivate kids, personally, especially when they're about to walk on the stage.
What would Cris Cangero do?
Me, I would empower them and be like, you know, you guys got this. And I would rehearse the flag at the studio, not backstage when we're about to go on, and like stress them out. I think like stressing someone out right before a performance about a minute detail, granted it was a
Suicide.
flag, like, yeah, because then you're festering over it, and like how even, you know, you psych yourself out, which Chloe's mom was worried about
A little bit.
before her solo. And that is the worst thing you could do
It
to
happens
yourself.
all the time.
It does happen all the time, but like, I'm capable of doing it to myself. I don't need someone else,
Yes.
you know,
Completely.
increasing that in my head.
I liked Maddie and Asia had a little moment too,
Mm-hmm.
where she's like, "Don't worry about it. Just do your best."
Yeah, it was cute.
It was Presh. I think they're friends in real life.
Presh.
Okay, let's jump into predictions. Hopefully you'll be here
And
next week.
now, your
Yes, I should
AfterBuzz TV
So,
predictions.
So Abby's gonna be on The View.
oh God.
Asia's gonna be back.
How big is Abby's hair going to be on The View? Because it was with that headband, that is teased.
Probably gigantic because her hair is full of secrets.
Oh, she's just pulling them out one by one. Hey. We should actually watch that episode.
I know. That'll be our homework for sure.
Okay,
To try to get it.
to catch that.
Yeah.
Predictions, I don't know. I think there's going to be more drama. I think Asia's going to keep rising to the top. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if she'll be in the top of the pyramid next week. I feel like Maddie might get back.
Maddie might get back.
Maybe Maddie, Asia, Chloe.
I don't know. Chloe might.
But she came in second.
Think Kendall's gonna be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think at home. Thank you so much for joining us this week. By all means, please comment. And of course, don't forget iTunes, rate us 5 stars. We're so happy. We bumped up to 4.5 stars and we've stayed there because of you.
Yes.
So if you love our show, give us 5 stars. If you don't think we deserve 5 stars, before you give us those 5 stars, let us know why so we can fix
Yeah,
what
we
it is that we're
love-
doing
we
wrong,
love
because we want to know what
Constructive criticism.
it is. So, Chris, tell us where we can find you.
You can find me at Cris Cangero. I think we spelt it enough this episode. But on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Yo, add me, kids.
Yeah. And you can find me on most social media platforms at Giselle Ugarte, GISELLEUGARTE. Thank you so much for watching, and we will
Yes.
see you next time.
Yes.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.